anyone has the answer to it all.
Morning, Gaffer.
Morning, Junior.
When are you going to get a new car?
New car? I'm still paying instalments on the one I traded in as a deposit on the one I had before this.
He's the Gaffer. Doesn't need to take advice. He's the Gaffer. He's the Gaffer.
Hi, Gaffer.
Harry,
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
you didn't get one in a row out of that lot. It's raining glass tubes outside. The knob fell off the toaster at breakfast time, and I got British Steel's gas bill in the post.
Oh, you're a right little ray of gloom this morning, aren't you?
Oh, well, eyes down for another new day.
New? It's straight off the Xerox machine. Yesterday it rained brass stair rods, the toaster fell off the knob, and I got Arab's rates demanded.
It sounds like someone got out of his nightmare the wrong side this morning.
Yes, come on, start the day with a smile, Gaffer. Remember that someone somewhere may have broken a leg, or maybe even two, eh?
I'm glad you find it all amusing, Harry. It's very easy to be flippant, you know. But I tell you the truth, I am worried to death about the economic state of this country. The bottom even seems to have fallen out of the slump.
When did you start worrying about the country apart from the 2 square feet inside the office safe?
Oh, haven't you noticed, Harry? He's got patriotic eyes. Huh? You see, there's a little bit of white between the red and the blue.
Yes, I just hope you two can laugh as much on the way to the Labour Exchange tomorrow. Look, it's about time we started asking ourselves not what our country can do for us, because unless you're a redundant left-wing rapist, the answer's no. But what we, the ordinary citizens, and there's no one more ordinary than you two, what we can do to help this country we love.
Well, we could snip through the country just below Birmingham and let the bottom half sink, eh?
All right, we give in. You tell us.
I will tell you, in the words of whatever famous nonentity said it. The answer is the only choice we have got. Export or die. How does all this rubbish sound?
Pardon?
This spiel I'm giving you, the chat. How do you think it'll go down with the bank manager?
Like lead gravy. What are we going to export anyway?
Yeah, well, you may have put your finger on the one snag, Betty. I mean, what is it that Moffat Engineering have got that the world is waiting agog for, or even half agog for?
Hey, Gaffer, what is all this export nonsense about?
You should know, Harry. Your missus and mine.
Do you mean you're going to export those two? What a marvellous idea. We could capture the world market in non-stick housewives.
Not for long we couldn't. The Japanese would soon start re-exporting them back to us. New improved models guaranteed to do the housework at 60 miles an hour on 2-star cabbage.
Gaffer, what are you on about?
Holidays Continental. Moffats for the use of.
Not having your usual walking holiday, then? Over the North Col of Blackpool Tower and along the tram lines to Fleetwood?
We were, or something like it, before Harry's missus started boasting at the Conservative Coffee Club about her forthcoming fortnight of skin scorching in the sunny south of France.
You're not going on a holiday to the south of France, are you, Harry?
Well, I'm not all that keen on it myself, but I mean, with the wages the Gaffer pays, who can afford Skegness?
And of course, if Harry's missus is going abroad, then my missus has got to go abroad, even if she has to pump up the hovercraft tyres herself.
It's going to cost you a pretty penny.
More like a very ugly £500, which I haven't got, but fortunately the bank has. So I'm going to tap them for a loan with a yarn about our booming export potential.
And how do you think our worthy bank manager is going to take all that?
Well, normally with the remote-controlled misgivings, I should think. Obviously, he's not going to take my unsupported word, is he? So I'm going to bung a few pit-props under it. I'm going to get in touch with some importing company in La Belle, France, somewhere near where Doris wants to go, and then I'm going to offer them sole agency in our something or other machine, and tell them that our chairman and managing director will be going over in due course to discuss the matter.
So how will that help?
Well, they'll have to send us a letter of acknowledgement, won't they? Then I'll take that letter round to Williams at the bank, and I'll get a loan on the strength of it.
And what happens when somebody from the bank comes nosing round here wanting to see your new something or other machine?
Don't talk damn daft, Harry. What do banks know about engineering? I've yet to see a banker yet who knew his valve seat from his stopcock. Cock. Anyway, I'm going round the library, go through a few continental directories. Once I've gone, start composing a letter, you know the sort of thing. We have this marvellous new machine, don't say exactly what it is, just keep hinting on what wondrous things it can do and how little it costs.
I can't tell a pack of lies like that.
Of course you can. Imagine you're a member of Parliament doing a part of political broadcast.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Mr. Moffat, I'm so glad to see you. Do please sit down.
Well, now.
I wanted to have a word with you about your overdraft. Or perhaps I should say your overdue draft. It has been rather a long time.
Yes, I realise that, Mr. Williams, but I'm a great believer in customer loyalty. I'd never abandon that overdraft. It's got too much attachment for me. It's the only memento I've got of old George Hargreaves, who arranged it in the first... You remember old George? Little blue-nosed fellow, walked with a tilt.
Oh, aye, yes, my predecessor. I'm afraid he looked on the wine when it was red and failed to look on the accounts when they were likewise. I suspect that much of the bank's business was conducted in the back room of the Red Cow.
Oh, no, you're wrong there. Old George was he's a stickler for etiquette. He wouldn't discuss the bank's business anywhere but in the lounge.
Be that as it may, Mr. Moffat, I think it's about time the bank stopped having to pay 12p just to let you know that you don't have that much.
Yes, well, actually, that's really why I'm here. I think I've got an idea that will solve everything, provided, of course, you can let me have a small loan.
You are joking, of course.
No, not at all. I mean, it'll be a bit of an investment. It'll be your chance to help the country by helping Moffat Engineering join the export market.
You? Exporting? Since when?
Since 5 minutes after you lend me the money so I can go over there and fix it up. Britain and Moffat Engineering need you. And I know the bank are always prepared to take a chance, provided there's absolutely no risk involved.
Well, it is the bank's policy to encourage exports, but what on earth were you planning to export?
Yeah, well, it's a bit difficult to describe it, really. It's a sort of, well, it's machinery, naturally. It's a bit sort of technical. I don't really think you'd be interested.
Oh, but I would. I'm a very keen model engineer myself.
Are you? I didn't know.
Oh, yes. Well, I could call in and have a look.
Oh, yes, you must.
I'm not promising anything, mind you, but if you have any correspondence from interested parties, well, it does help.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes, but do I dial the International Exchange, or will I get it from the code book? Right, thank you.
Why, the screws, Betty, it's cold. I'm trying to start wearing my mink-line white front. Anything amiss, miss?
Well, which do you want first? The bad news or the other bad news?
Oh, don't tell me it's going to be one of those lives. Well?
We've had a reply from Leclerc and Company.
Not before time. They've not turned us down, have they? I'll put everything into motion.
No, they sound very interested, but I think you ought to read it first.
Oh, what's the matter? It says we're very interested in your poor position.
Proposition.
Thought somebody had been talking for a minute. And look forward to making contacts against you. Sounds as if they got one like you over there. And coming to an agreement on pre-mating.
Promoting.
I prefer their idea. And what machine?
Don't blame me.
What the hell made you tell them we got a road sweeping machine? God, let's have a look at the copy of the note. Come on. I suppose you found it under L for letter as usual.
I wrote it just like you said. And anyway, we might just as well not sell them a road sweeper as not sell them anything else. I mean, what's the difference?
I'll tell you what the difference is. I've got that idiot at the bank to lend me the money for the trip, haven't I? When he reads this letter, he'll come round here expecting to see a big, shiny new road sweeper in the works. Well, come on, give us a copy of your letter. Let's have a look what you put. Come on. Chop, chop. Well, that's what's done, isn't it? Fancy putting a damn silly thing like that. In fact, we are confident that it will sweep the country. Yeah.
How was I to know that they take it that way?
Well, you're talking about you should have known. You're not writing to normal people, you're writing to foreigners. It's a wildly old fact. Everybody knows that all that garlic affects their brains.
Honestly, I don't know what you're worried about. I mean, it's not that important. Not compared to what they say on the other page.
What, where?
Well, the last paragraph. where they say don't bother going over at the moment because their Monsieur Gaston is in England and will be calling in to see us.
The whole idea of the operation was for me and Doris to go over there. When's he coming?
12 o'clock.
Expecting to see a dirty great road sweeper.
Shall I try and find a man with a broom?
The only answer to that wouldn't half bring the tears to your eyes.
Good morning, Gaffer.
Harry, do you know where we can get a sweeper?
Aye, United have just put theirs on the transfer list. Well, it'll cost you $500,000, but it can kick a goalkeeper further than anybody else I've ever seen.
Where did you get your degree in idiocy? The closed university? You know what I'm talking about. I've got to get a road sweeper.
Oh, well, the council, I suppose.
Oh, well, I'll just ring up my mate, the mayor, and ask him to send one over.
All right, if you like. I was just going to ring my mate, the council shop steward, and ask him.
Well, can you swing it?
Ha, ha, ha. It's merely a matter of going through the proper underground channels.
Not what they used to call sewers.
It's all part of our rent-a-rogue service. Hello, get me George Hetheridge, Cleansing and Sanitary Department.
Hey, tell him we just want it long enough to take somebody to the cleaners.
Hello there, George, my old pal. It's your old mate, Harry Campbell here. Just want you to do me a wee favour. I would just like you to lend me your road sweeper machine. Yes. Just you park it in front of my gaffer's watch here for about an hour and then stroll down to the pub, and when you come back, don't trip over the £10 note in the cab.
Now that's a bigger tip than the corporations.
That's without VAT. No, wait a minute. What do you mean too difficult? It wasn't too difficult at the Christmas party, was it? When your missus spilt her brandy and Bisto all over the Persian foam backed? Oh, no. Then it was straight down to the depot, back with your machine, quick whiz round the carpet, and hard luck on a young couple who were snogging in the corner. I thought, come on, you must be able to do something to help. What do you mean emergency only? What sort of emergency? All right, never mind, I'll think of something.
The next time you ring him, can you reverse the charges? Oh, dear, can't he help?
He says it's only for emergencies.
Oh, what a donkey.
It's all right, I'll think of something.
Well, somebody's got to think of something, and quick. And I'll tell you something else. I want you to get in the works and tell those lads best behaviour this afternoon when our friend arrives à la continente. I don't want any remarks, and I don't want him called any rude names. It's not his fault he's a frog. Hey, Betty, seen Harry?
No, he's gone out somewhere.
Yeah, well, I wanted him to work through his dinner hour. I've just remembered that blending machine we were overhauling for Carter Chemicals when they went skint. We got most of the parts in the work. I reckon we could slap together something fairly impressive that looks a bit road sweeperish with about half an hour's of concentrated rupture wrenching.
Oh, don't forget that Gaston chap will be here at any moment.
Yeah, well, you'll have to take him out to lunch. They do a fairly respectable corned beef flambé at the Spare Spanner Cafe. That, of course, is when they can borrow the thermic lamps from the garage next door.
You must be joking. You won't parboil him into a state of euphoria on less than a 5-course continental repast at Luigi's.
Luigi's? They only have candles, so you can't read the bill properly. All right, well, if you must, you must. But you finish your sandwiches. I'm not lashing out for two. Tell him, if he asks you, tell him you're on a food-free diet. Hey, and complain about the service, you won't have to leave a tip. Luigi's. He used to go to Warlock Street Primary School, him. His real name's Ernie Postlethwaite.
Gaffer, what are you messing about with the old blender for?
Trust you to arrive when all the work's done. You turn up with a sick note at 1:30 doomsday.
Well, it was my dinner hour.
Oh, I knew you'd have some fancy excuse. I've only had young Ginger to help me slap this lot together.
Well, where is he? Gone to cool off?
What, Ginger? If he ever breaks out into a sweat, I'll send him for a dope test. No, as a matter of fact, he's in here.
It's what?
Well, we had to bung it together so quick, I couldn't get the damn motor to start. Banging and slamming, so I thought just for safety I'd stick him inside. He can pull the belts round by hand if anybody wants to see it working when I give him the signal.
You don't have to worry about all of that. I've had an idea.
It's too late, Larry. It's time we've got lift off. Ah, Monsieur Gaston. Did you manger bon?
Comment?
That's it, isn't it? Eat nice.
It was incredible.
I thought you'd enjoy it.
Well, Luigi's was closed, so we settled for the spare spanner, where the plat du jour was the plat de last week.
Yes, well, at least it'd be well done. Why don't you go and make us a couple of coffees, Betty?
Right.
Right, now I've got another treat for you. Here it is. Our new super scrub machine, eh? Beautiful, isn't it? I tell you what, we'll go in and have a coffee and then talk about the important part, like, you know, which hotel you're going to fix me up with when I come back and visit you.
Pardon, monsieur, a little closer look.
Ah, well, if you must, I suppose. She's beautiful, isn't she? I bet you wish your luck could turn out stuff like this, eh?
It's rather small for a hot sweeper, n'est-ce pas?
Oh, yes, well, this is the model, of course, for, like, minor roads and footpaths. You know, what you'd call the rue small, you know. Got to have there'll be a lot of attack. By the time I'm finished with this, it'll be handing out parking tickets and giving tests de breath.
Comment? And how will it do all this, monsieur, without wheels?
Ah, well, obviously, for the moment, not very quickly. Of course, we are considering putting the wheels on, you know, for the, what we call the deluxe model. Of course, your version will be the model deluxe. Would you like me to switch it on, just so you can hear how quiet it runs?
Certainement.
Right. Sorry about it. A little bit of peur de muck in the switch, I think. Right. Come on.
Aha! You forgot to put in the plug.
Hey, don't put that in now because don't
I will
do something for God's sake.
Voila!
It's still caught in the cob. Hang on, did you get to us?
Let me see. An inch below.
Where do you like it? Go! Oh, God. Oh, hell. Oh, dear God.
It does not look so good.
Oh, well,
It's the thought of buying a new tie. Harry, will you come and help me get him into the office?
Well, we'll draw lots for who gives him the kiss of life.
No, we won't. We'll use a stomach pump.
No, don't mess about. Go look at Harry. Go. I broke my... Oh, hell. Oh, thanks, mate.
Well, how are you feeling, Fred?
Not so bad now my brain tourniquet's been turned off. I'll tell you the truth. For a moment, my life passed before me. I still couldn't remember where I lost that fiver in 1954. Oh. Where's that frog fella gone?
Oh, he's got to take another look at that machine. He seems to think that there's a cat he's letting out of the bag. I told him it was probably a ginger Tom.
Aha! You'll recover, Monsieur Moffat.
Mr. Gaston, yeah. I've got a bit of a cross-threaded gullet, but I'll be all right. Thanks to you doing the okey-cokey on that break. How did you know about that?
Because that is a Duroche blending machine. My firm sells them in England.
What, you mean you knew all the time what it was and you said nothing?
Maybe, monsieur, I just wait to see what the game you play.
Yeah, well, whatever it was, I seem to have lost.
Never mind, monsieur, c'est n'importe. Now, let us discuss the Duroche blender. Tell me, the clutch on that machine, it has been altered, yes?
Oh, right, that's why it was sent to us in the first place. I mean, the original clutch was diabolical. I've seen more grip in a concrete corset.
Interesting. We have had a little trouble. Perhaps you would care to quote us for, say, 20 units a month, huh?
20? What, you mean you want us to make clutch mechanisms for you?
Well, why not, providing the price is right?
Oh, the price is bound to be all right. I mean, we've got no overheads.
Well, if we do, they're certainly not halos.
Betty, firmay it.
Hey, Gaffer, there is somebody to see you.
Oh, Mr. Williams, I've got good news. We're going into exporting.
Aye, so you said. I popped in to tell you we just might be able to swing that wheel loan.
Really? Well, I'd like to introduce you to Monsieur Gaston of Le... What's it and something, and as a matter of fact, he wants us to make clutches for him.
Bonjour, monsieur.
Just a moment. You mean you don't want the money for a holiday?
How do you know about that?
Well, your wife told mine at the Conservative Coffee Club. Now, normally I would have turned a blind eye to that, providing you could pay the interest. But risking the bank's money in the export market when you've no experience, oh, dear me.
I think you ought to have a look at the job we're doing. Though. Why don't you go and have a look at it with our French friend?
Well, it'll not hurt to look.
Bon, après-vous, monsieur. I will show you how it works.
You know where it is. Sam have to go straight down.
It's just
I
there.
can if they can't come. I'll be with you in a minute. What the hell are you doing, Harry?
It's okay, Gaffer, don't worry about a thing. I have fixed everything.
I know, what's all this white powder?
Merely a deadly chemical. 1/1,000,000th of which shop either side of your hooter could cause fairly severe death. Have some.
You damn fool. That's the number of your throat. I'd like to ring it.
Come on. Look, it was emergency only to get a road sweeping machine, wasn't it? So I phoned up and said that there was deadly chemicals spread all over the works. Actually, it's only a couple of bags of flour that I bought it in the wee corner shop during my lunch break. It won't be long now.
What the hell are all these fire engines? We only wanted a road sweeper. Come here.
Stupid bloody queen!
Yeah, what time do you expect Mr. Gaston to come back? I see. Not at all. Thank you very much.
Hey, Gaffer, we will be getting extra responsibility money on this export caper, won't we? Well, we are having to learn new skills. Well, their figures are different. You put a wee mark through the 7.
One of these days I'm going to put a wee mark through your ear hole. I mean, at least Ginger had a reason for going stark raving mad, but between you put a big mark through our export chances.
What, has that fella changed his mind?
Ah, straight after he changed his suit.
Ah, no sense of humour, that lot.
Well, you should have known better anyway. They're all the damn same, from distaste downwards. That's the trouble, isn't it, with exporting to foreigners? It's always abroad.
Well, looks as if you're going to have to pay for your own continental trip after all, eh?
Yeah, well, I've been thinking about that, Harry. If you were to talk your missus out of your trip, perhaps my missus wouldn't be keen on us going either. Especially if I told her that the place where we're going to was so rough like the bacteria had to walk around in pairs.
Oh, Gaffer, well, now that would not be easy.
Do I detect a slight hint of another request for a redistribution of wealth?
Well, I mean, I would have to make it up to her. I wouldn't have to take her out a few trips, buy her 1 or 2 presents. Oh, it would be hard.
Don't go on, Harry. I haven't got a box of tissues. Look, why don't we go and haggle about it in the Red Cow over a pint? I don't think you'll find me ungenerous.
Thank you. Hey, wait a minute. Who's buying the first round?
Yes, and why shouldn't you? Go on.
He's the gaffer. You can't stop him. He's the gaffer. Even when he's on the left. He's the gaffer. When his back's against the wall. And he has it.
Doesn't trust the politicians to the left or to the right, because they're all the same office when they make it overnight. Resents the time he spends on paperwork and VAT. Keeps the money that the taxman doesn't see.
He's the gaffer.